Hey, what's going on, fellow Michigan football fans? Yeah, I let's hope this stream goes smoothly. My unit was acting a little glitchy before I fired up, but so far so good. So let me. I told Marmar, I would pin the link to the chat so that when I got done giving my State of the Union address here, he could just come right up. Marmar was here a little early. I just froze there. He was here a little early. That was 6:45, and then Kenneth Joyce says, "Marmar, what it do?" So thank you for that. Everybody, please smash the like button. Let me see. Go to the stream. And I'm a man of my word, as Heath Ledger said in the Dark Knight. So I'm gonna get rid of this ad, and I'm going to put this here. I'm going to pin this to the chat. Let me put it in the chat. Get rid of that, and yep, pin message. All right. So I am going to. Readings by Dom. Readings by Dom is here. What's going on, Readings by Dom? Let's see. So let me play the intro, and then I'll get into my talking points. Then anyone who wants to come up, you guys can come up and respond to whatever it is I said. Or if you want to say something else, you're welcome to do so as well. Give me 1 second here while I share this on my other signaling tower, because I have several signaling towers. Yeah, there was a rocky start to the week health-wise, so I wasn't sure if I was going to be well enough to do this one, but here we are. I said, just Dom. All right. All right, I'll see you guys on the other side of the intro. Oh, okay, so that was this is from a channel. All right. Very, very distinguished image there, Dom from SoCal. All right, I'll see you guys on the other side of the intro. Let's go blue. Hold on, let me fix my speaker here, because this microphone always changes my speaker settings. All right, let's go blue. All right, everyone, welcome back to Big Discussions 76 Sports. My name is Dr. Anwar Yusuf Dunbar. You guys know who I am. Well, for the people who don't know, I am a Michigan alum and I am a Michigan football fan. That's why I'm here, and that's why you guys are here, because you guys are Michigan football fans. So that was my intro. I think after once the season starts, you'll see some changes here. Some updates and upgrades. I won't say what those are, but I am going on vacation next week. But before I go on vacation, the GOAT, Johnny Olden Jr., agreed to come back and continue our ritual of him coming to my channel before kickoff. So, but that's going to be Tuesday, because I got to go somewhere very, very early on Thursday morning. And yeah, look for Johnny Olden Jr. to come back here to Big Discussions 76 Sports next Tuesday. All right. So there's a lot to. I have some talking points. Then the link is pinned there to the chat. Please smash the like button. Let me know what you guys think. I'm going to try to breeze through this stuff. So I was at my 9 to 5 today. Should have been focused on what I should have been focused on. I'll be discreet. But I did go over to the Michigan football schedule on the MGlow Blue website, and I don't know why I didn't see this before, but I noticed that they have a countdown clock. So right now we are 16 days, 23 hours, 50 minutes, and those seconds just keep ticking down. But we're 16 days from kickoff. Marmar's going to be at the big house. I'll be out west watching on a big screen TV. But yeah, we're 16 days, 23 hours, 15 minutes, and seconds from kickoff. So I just wanted to just highlight that because everybody's counting down. So that's 2 weeks. That's 2 weeks and 2 days. I also noticed this about the schedule. All the home games are sold out. New Mexico's sold out. Central Michigan is sold out. You can get tickets on SeatGeek. Wisconsin is sold out. Washington is sold out. Purdue is sold out. And of course, the game with the world famous Ohio State Buckeyes, that game is sold out too, unless you go to SeatGeek. But yeah, I noticed that, and I just wanted to highlight the clock here. We're going to come back to this site because I want to walk through the roster because I was looking at it last week and I said that would be fun to do on the stream. By the way, guys, that background right there, you can only see it when I started the stream. That's Glick Fieldhouse. That's Al Glick Fieldhouse. So the team, I've only been in Osterband Fieldhouse, but that was Glick. It's a very beautiful facility. It looks like the team works out next door to that, and they work out in Osterband Fieldhouse as well. All right, so just there's a lot of news coming out in addition to all the recruits that Sharon and his staff are bringing in. But I think I was watching Menace to Sports around lunchtime earlier, and I saw Johnny. Speaking of Johnny Olden, I saw Johnny in there as well. And the title of that, it's in my community tab. I've been posting a lot of things for you guys there, pictures from X, but also other live streams like RJ Young's and Rich Eisen. But Menace to Sports, their stream was themed "No Hammer Coming Down. Michigan is only going to get a minor slap on the wrist." So that's consistent with what John U. Bacon thought. You know what? I haven't read any official links on that or any official reports on that. I just saw that that's what their stream was themed. But if they're saying it, I believe that those are two Buckeyes over there. Then it's kind of Buckeye fan. There's not really going to be a hammer coming down for us. So I also saw this. This was also news. Marmar, I see you back there. I see you backstage. John Mateer, apparently, the big game a lot of us are looking at, or that we consider Michigan's first true test, is Oklahoma. So apparently, hold on a second. What's StreamYard doing? Okay, there it is. So apparently, John Mateer, this reads, Oklahoma quarterback John Mateer released a statement on alleged sports gambling controversy. So apparently, someone accused him of gambling on some games at Washington State. And he's quoted here by saying the allegations that I once participated in sports gambling are false. My previous Venmo descriptions did not accurately portray the transactions in question, but were instead inside jokes between me and my friends. Okay, so he's basically saying I'm not guilty for this. So I don't think this is going to hold him out of the game on October 6th. But I thought this was worth noting. So let's see. So we did the clock, John Mateer, no hammer, and you guys let me know what you know about the hammer. And I saw something interesting on X earlier today. I do follow a bunch of the guys over there now, like Maze Madman and Kinetic and Johnny. But I saw this Buckeye accounts show up on my feed all the time. There's Sharon talking. I'm going to scroll past that because I don't want my video demonetized. But this is interesting. This is from a Buckeye fan here. And this one right here, it says, okay, this says, and I quote, Michigan's natty team had 12 guys drafted in the first 3 rounds, a quarterback taken in the top 10, 3 first-rounders taken in the top 13 in the 2025 draft. One of the best coordinators in the NFL as their defensive coordinator, and Harbaugh, who built up Stanford and coached in a Super Bowl. Maybe they were just good. Okay. So you have some Buckeye fans coming out and saying, hey, look, they earned it. They earned it. I saw this earlier this week as well. I thought this picture was kind of cool. The Don, he had a nice run in that New York Jets game. So him and Cornelius took a picture afterwards. And this particular Twitter account, Amazing History, said the Kings of Columbus reunite. They both scored 2 touchdowns in that 2022 statement game, proving that Michigan was here to stay. Okay. So salute to those guys. Those guys are Michigan football legends. Despite how the Don's last year went, I thought that was a cool picture. 2 things from the talking heads. Steve Dace. I posted that on my community tab. He was of the opinion, and some of you guys might not like him because he gets a little panicky at times, but Steve Dace was of the opinion regarding our quarterback situation that we just need Bryce Underwood to be a Jag, just another guy. We don't need him to put the team on his back and carry us to the promised land. We just need Bryce to be a Jag, and anything we get from Bryce will be infinitely better than what we had last year, and I agree with that. I also posted Rich Eisen's discussion with Bruce Feldman. They'll probably have several of those during the season, but Bruce Feldman said something interesting, which was that Bryce does not have a lot around him. So Bruce Feldman gave the rest of the offense, and I think some of the defense, a low score. So I thought that was interesting. Okay. So that's Steve Dace and Bruce Feldman. The AP Top 25 was released this week on my community tab. I posted up the Big Ten teams in the AP Top 25. Interestingly, the AP Top 25 feels the same way that Joe Clack does. They ranked Penn State the strongest of the Big Ten teams. Let me pull this up really quickly. Mark, I see you back there, man. Hold on. So maybe the AP and Joe Clapp know something that we don't. All right, let me make sure StreamYard is working correctly. Up there's Jimmy Fallon. Close that. Okay, later. Close. All right, so they have Texas number 1, and they have Penn State number 2, and they have Ohio number 3. Clemson number 4, Georgia number 5, Notre Dame number 6. 7. Oregon is number 7. They have Bama ranked ahead of us at number 8. LSU is number 9. They have Miami at number 10, Arizona State at 11, Illinois at 12, South Carolina at 13, and we're at 14. I'm perfectly okay with that. I'd rather teams not see us coming, and I'd rather have a sneak up on teams than be ranked one of the top 4 teams at the beginning and then fall down. So I'm comfortable with this myself. All right, I want to show that. And then last week when I was at my 9 to 5, should I say this online? When I was at my 9 to 5, probably well, everybody takes a break after 9 to 5. But I took a look at the roster, and I thought it would be fun just to kind of sprint through this and take a look at some of the guys, because we've talked about all these names, but it's cool to look at their faces and see what their heights and their measurables are. And so that I'm going to sprint through this. These are the guys that are on the team. I saw something on X. I think every college football team, they hold tryouts also for the walk-ons, but these are the guys who are already on the roster. Our former Wolverine and our resident Ohio State super fan is here. He says Ohio State will be number 1 soon. 3 losses on deck for the Wolverines. Okay, man, just give me, let me, yeah. Here's my talking points here. Okay. All right, Marmar, I'll tell you what. I want to get through this. Just, this is, you do this with me, all right? I'll bring you up. I want to go through the roster really, really quickly. All right, 9 o'clock. I have to be at work earlier than that. What's going on?
No, nah,
You
they
muted.
switched the time. Nah, they just switched the time on it. I was just trying to get to bed early. Um, I know.
All right.
Yeah. You brought up the
So
AP Pro Week 14.
yeah, so we can come back to that. I just want to go over the roster really, really quickly.
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead. We can go over the roster.
All right. So right there. So you have Samaj. There's Jay Sean. He's predicted to hit, along with Ernest Hausman. Our linebackers are predicted to be very strong. There's McCulley, Donovan McCulley, 6'5", 215 pounds. He's wearing the number 1. Okay, so there's a lot expected out of him. Jaden Davis. One of the criticisms of our team is that there's no one right now. If Mikey Keene is hurt, there's no one behind Bryce to play. So there's not a lot of faith in Jaden Davis. There's Shamari Earls. We've been hearing a lot about him. He's a defensive back. Jaden Mangum, number 3. We've been hearing a lot about him as well. Fred Moore. He's probably, along with Samaj, one of the veteran wide receivers that we have coming back, who's been in the program for a number of years. There's TJ Guy, 6'4", 250 pounds. He's a big, tall kid. We've been hearing a lot about Andrew Marsh, Jacob Oden, Jamar Browder, Brandon Hillman. It's another defensive back. He's going to get a lot of time. There's Mikey Keene right there. He's not healthy. So one of the concerns is that the Wolverines, if Bryce goes down or if Bryce has to come out or if Bryce is ineffective, they're, who's going to play behind Bryce at this point? Who can come in if something happens to our QB1? You want to say something, man?
I think we'll be fine at quarterback. I think Mikey King coming along well. That's what I'm hearing. That he's working. He ain't taking reps. He didn't play in the scrimmage on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then you got experience with. See, I always said systems work for certain quarterbacks, and then some systems don't. Like let's say with the Bo Nix situation at Auburn, he had okay season at Auburn, but when he went to Oregon, he showed out. So the backup quarterback situation with us, I think we have. I think Jeff Garcia will be doable. He'll be better than Jaden Davis.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
think we'll be all right. We'll see. I think they got it all together up there in Ann Arbor, man. They That's a lot of. I think the X factor are the assistant coaches that they hired. and even bringing in Biff Poggi. So I think we're gonna be all right.
Okay. There's one of the Metcalf kids. We've been hearing a lot about them.
Yep, he said he's gonna be starting.
Okay, Derek. Derek made headlines by telling Ohio, "Sorry, Abdul, your title's not a real title." Okay, because you guys
Uh,
didn't beat the Wolverines, and you guys didn't win the Big Ten. So we'll probably see a lot out of Derek Moore. Cameron Brandt. We've been hearing a lot about him. Shannon Goodwin, Kendrick Bell. There's Ronnie Bell's brother. So we have a deep wide receiver room. And that's one of the questions about our roster is which one of those guys, we have so many of them, which one of those guys are actually going to step up and be prime targets for Bryce. So what's up?
hey, so do you think because the lack of quarterback that we had last year, like people talk about the Illinois game of how they were running free, but Tuttle just couldn't get it to them. Do
Mm-hmm.
you think that was the issue? Now that we have a quarterback that is more competent, highly touted, that he can get the ball out to these receivers to be able to, I'm gonna quote Josh Gattis, speed and space.
Yeah, Marmar. I think, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's going to solve a lot of problems that we had last year. I mean, Bryce has touch. He has arm strength. You can see over the pocket. He's probably not going to panic. He can get away. So yeah, that a lot of guys are going to eat this year. All right, Zeke Berry, one of the deans of the defensive backfield. Is he going to play nickel? He's going to play. Is he going to play the boundary? Jake Garcia, there's one of the backup quarterbacks right there. Let's see, Jordan Young, Ernest Hausman. There's the dean of the linebacking core. Go ahead.
Um, so Zeke Berry, Lamar Morgan came out and said that they've just been moving him around a lot, so he could play multiple positions on the defensive side. And then about the linebacker core, Coach Moore came out and said Roller and he really spoke highly of. He been speaking highly of Cole Sullivan
Mm-hmm.
since Big Ten media. He said, man, he a specimen. He's really going to turn heads, and a lot of people going to be like, "Who is this guy?" So you got Cole Roller, and then they said a boy named Zach Taylor. He mentioned him. He said he's a freshman linebacker, but he's a dog. Um, and Mason Curtis could play linebacker too, so he spoke of him too. So like I said, man, it's gonna be crazy this season. So people better buckle up, like Wink Martindale say, and bring your A game because Michigan not playing this year.
Okay. When I get down to the offensive linemen and the defensive linemen and our tight ends, we've got some guys, man. These guys, these
Yeah.
kids are big.
Oh,
These guys are big.
yeah,
Big. Yeah, man. Hold
yeah.
on. So Jake
Yep,
Garcia,
Sharon Moore spoke on him.
Caleb Anderson, Jordan Young, Ernest, Chase Herbstreit, part of our quarterback
Hmm.
room. I don't think anyone's looking for him to back up Bryce. He's only 6'1", 198 pounds, so he's a little guy. Davis is still on the roster. Look at Davis.
We call him the Buckeye Killer for
well,
62 yards though. Anwar for
yeah.
62 yards,
This
and
boy
we
back.
still beat you. Come on, man, that's a famous picture. We gotta frame that somewhere.
Yeah, we do. Okay.
Hey, we
Uh,
gotta post. We get a big picture and post it in Columbus
Marlon Klein, 6'6", 250 pounds. Marlon Klein should eat. He should eat this year
in the Chip Lindsey offense.
in the Chip Lindsey offense. Rod Moore, okay. Apparently he's going through walkthroughs.
Yep,
He's
yep.
get back at some point. There's the golden child right there. Bryce Underwood, 6'4",
Hmm.
228 pounds.
I was
Okay.
watching something on him. These two guys from Rival. They said out of all the 5-star quarterbacks that came in, this year that's going to play this year, or on a roster, he's the one that's going to be the nice one, the nicest one out of all of them.
Hmm.
Ohio State they didn't even talk about Tevin St. Clair, but I do remember. I'm gonna hold this receipt. I do remember when the Buckeyes were saying that he was better than Bryce Underwood, and he ain't even touched. He ain't even in the competition. See, Bryce is
Yeah. Okay.
Sugar
Jair
Hill.
Hill. Jair Hill. He figured it out last year. Had some struggles, but he figured it out. Elijah Dawson,
He,
just our
he
two
was
running
talking
backs
about.
right here.
He was
Go ahead.
talking about Elijah Dawson.
Okay, hold on. Okay, freshman defensive back. All right,
Mm-hmm.
and there
Jerome
go.
Horn.
Yeah, our two stud running backs right there. So, yeah, Bruce Feldman said there wasn't a lot around him. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with that. I think yeah, these two guys here will help keep pressure off Bryce, in my opinion. Justice Haynes, Jordan Marshall. They're about the same size, both 5'11", 210 pounds, 216 pounds. Cole Sullivan, so there's another vet in the he's a sophomore in the linebacker core. Bryson Kudzall, Travis Metcalf, there's the other Metcalf kid. Mason Curtis. There's Micah Capana. Okay, another running back. Rashawn Benny, he's going to be he's a graduate. So he's the dean of the defensive line there. He's going to play on the interior. 6'4", 305 pounds. All right. Let's see. Kanoa Winston, Chase Taylor, Jimmy Rolder. I think you were just talking about him. He's part of the linebacker core. Jeremiah Lowe, John Volker, Dominic Nichols, like David Hood, Stuart Blake. Let's see. Bryce Wilcox, Matt Reyes, Joe Taylor, Shamari Stone. His dad lives here in D.C. Okay, we're getting down to let's see, Deacon Tonelli, 6'5", 246. Max Bredesen, he's back for he's a graduate player as well. Very experienced. Made some big plays in that Rose Bowl and in the national title run. So he'll likely get used quite a bit in this new offense. Let's see. We're transitioning down to the linemen now. Let's see. Greg Crippen, 6'4", 309 pounds. Okay. Andrew Sprague, 6'8", 315 pounds. Okay. These guys, they struggled a little bit last year, but these are some big kids. These are some strong kids. Big, strong kids. Nathan Nafobi, 6'3", 312. Let's see, Travis Moten, 6'6", 315. He's on the defensive line. Giovanni Ohadi, 6'5", 315. Okay, he's expected to have a much better year. Let's see. Okay, so here we go. Andrew Babalola. We've been talking a lot about this kid. 6'6", 315 pounds. Okay. Interestingly, him and Evan Link are about the same size. So they're one's just more experienced than the other, and apparently they are battling it out for that left tackle position. There's Evan Link right there, 6'6", 324 pounds. Okay, so they're battling it out for that left tackle position. These are all big kids. Avery Gadge, 6'5", 308. Let's see. Connor Jones, Blake Frazier. Ty Haywood is another freshman, 6'5", 316 pounds. Hogan Hansen, tight end, 6'5", 240. So they've got bodies out there. So I think
Yes, they do.
yeah. So I think a lot of these guys are going to eat this year. CJ Charleston, 6 foot, 190 pounds, wide receiver. Forbes, Ted Hammond. Let's see. Marshall, Trey Pierce. And there might be our MVP right there. He was last year, Dominic Zavada. Okay, so that's the roster, guys. I just wanted to go through that really, really quickly. I was looking at that last week. The coaching staff. I mean, we know who these guys are. Sharon, there's Sharon, Tony Alford, Ron Bellamy, Johnny Olden's favorite wide receiver coach. That's a joke. J.B. Brown, Steve Casula, Louis Pizzito, Brian Jean-Marie, Chip Lindsey. That's the big addition right there on offense, replacing Kurt Campbell. There's Wink, Lamar Morgan, and Grant Newsom. Okay. These are all the other assistant coaches. I'm not going to go over all those. But Marmar, before I hand it over to you, I want to address something Garrison said on I don't know if it was a deflection, but once Maniac got up in there, you know
It's always a deflection.
Yeah. So to Garrison was of the opinion that Team 127. So guys, if you want to look at this is on the MGO Blue website. They have stats for all the teams going back to I think 1997. So stats at a glance. So Garrison was of the opinion that Team 127 in 2006, that was the team that lost to the Troy Smith team down at the Snake Pit. He was of the opinion that this team would beat our national championship team, the J.J. McCarthy led team. And Garrison, I don't think that's true. And the reason being is I think that that 2023 defense was physical, it was fast, and I think that Chad Henne wasn't very mobile. He wasn't as mobile, and I don't think Chad Henne would have been able to get away from that defense. So I just and I think that 2016 we had a physical defense, but yeah, I think with JJ's mobility, with Colston Loveland and Donovan and Cornelius and all those guys, I think that they were a better overall team than the 2016. Did you have any thoughts on that, Marmar?
No, because why would he even make that sentiment? We don't even play we don't even play. Why would we put our team up against another of our greatest team in that time? Why would he even suggest that? That's like, yeah. Now you can say your national championship team against the 2016. We would have blew. They would have blew. Michigan would have blew them off the field.
Mm-hmm. Well, Dom did say Dom did tell Garrison he'd make a nice politician. Okay, we have a question here. I'm gonna stop this. If anyone else wants to come up, this question says, "What are your thoughts on Oklahoma shooting way up in I think the AI poll or the AP poll from where they were in the coaches poll?" Let me pull this back up. Hold on. AP top 25. Where is Oklahoma?
18. They 18.
Okay, so Marmar says they're number 18. I didn't go down that far. Yeah, they're number 18. So you know what? Honestly, Nat 31-28. I don't know what to make of that. I'm not sure where they. Can you tell us where they were in the coaches poll initially? But 18. That's still the. I mean, if you're in the top 25, I mean, you are decent, but that's still in the lower tier. So I don't know what to make of that. We've got Steve. We got both Dom and Steve here. Okay, Abdul Gaines. Before I bring Diamond Steve up, Abdul, this one is for you. I went through my crates and found some of my old drops. This one is for you, Abdul.
And so in the off season, we've tried to really make sure that the guys are reminded of that game, that the coaches are reminded of that game, everybody in the building's reminded of that game, but also know that we have to move forward. We can't let that game beat us twice, but it's something we never want to have to go through again.
Okay, that was from 2022. Okay, so Ryan, I imagine Ryan didn't foresee that they'd get two more beatdowns and one more beatdown and a heartbreaker. No, two more beatdowns and a heartbreaker at the hands of the Wolverines. Dom, Steve, what's going on?
How you doing, Doc?
Hey, what's going on? Doc? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Go ahead. I'm gonna, concede to the Dom father. Respect my elders. Go ahead, baby.
How you doing, Steve?
Cool in the game, baby. Cool in the game.
Hey, I was looking at some schedules, Doc, when you were going through starting lineup for Michigan, the players on Michigan's roster this year, and very interesting that Michigan's bye week in the second half of the season is on November 8th, and that's after Purdue game. So we have a middle stretch of Wisconsin at home, on the road to Southern Cal, the Huskies at home, Washington, over at Little Brother, and then Purdue at home, and then we're off, and then Northwestern and Wrigley Field at Maryland, and then the Ohio State game. Now, Ohio State, their bye week is on October 25th. So our bye week is going to be 2 weeks after theirs, and we're going to be a little bit more replenished because they're taking that bye week before the Penn State game, and then they're at Purdue. They host UCLA. They host Rutgers, and then they're at Michigan. So they're going to have 4 games as opposed to our 2 games before the game. So that's going to play to our advantage. I was looking at Michigan's schedule. I mean, undefeated, come on. And I'm really looking here, like, where can we take a loss? In our middle stretch in September and October is difficult, just as Ohio State's and other teams are. I mean, we have Wisconsin at home, on the road to Southern Cal, and then we come back with Washington Huskies. So, there's a bit of a stretch there. But then on the other side of the coin, Ohio State, they open up with 3 games. They have an off week. Then they're at Washington, okay? Washington, before the Ohio State game, they play their rival, Washington State. Before the Washington State game, they have a bye week, and then they're playing 2 cupcakes before. So they have 2 games, a bye week, and then Washington State, and then Ohio State. So Ohio State might be in for a little surprise in Husky Stadium. They come back, they have Minnesota, and then they're at Illinois and at Wisconsin. They're off a bye week, and then they have Penn State at home. How anyone has Ohio State with a new offensive defense coordinator, an unproven quarterback, and the amount of talent that they've lost to the NFL at number 3 in the country is just a telltale sign as to how biased the media is. And the main puppet master to it all is none other than Kurt Herbstreit. And I really wish his son wasn't on the team. I really do. The kid's small. He's not going to play. What is he doing on the team? If he wanted an education, he could have went to MIT. So I don't trust that. I don't like it. And last thing I'd like to share, Doc, and maybe give me your thoughts here on the schedules, is I've watched a lot of player interviews, and the consistency, be it underclassmen, even Giovanni El-Hadi, they're all focused in doing the work and supporting one another. The brotherhood, it's not that uncertainty going into last year. And I really believe that's going to be to our favor this year. And as you pointed out earlier in your show, sir, thank you again for having me, Doc. But as Steve on the Michigan podcast pointed out, as far as Bryce Underwood being a Jag,
Yep,
that's fine. That's fine. We don't need him to be a superstar. Let him get his legs under him. We have 2 stellar running backs, and the way the schedule opens up, just run the football. Let him get used to being in the role. And as far as Mikey King, I don't know. I don't know as far as the backup goes, that uncertainty. But the more we run the ball, the more we take off the clock, and the less we put Bryce Underwood at risk or in difficult situations. That's my take.
Okay. Yeah. I will. I agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I don't have any disagreements there. I think. I think the adversity was good for the O-line last year. Guys like El Hadi and Sprague, and so I think they'll be a much more formidable unit. It sounds like from what Castillo and Grant Newsom said, that they're in there working. So starting the season with a chip on their shoulder, I think that's good.
I want to say this. Cam Brandt said it well. He said Sprague, Babalola, and Link are the ones that are standing out to him.
Okay.
So I thought that spoke volumes from Cam Brandt, because he's going to see some playing time on the field as well. I mean, like, we can have a 15-man rotation on that defensive line, on that front 7, and it could be crazy. And you moving Zeke Berry all over, Mason Curtis, the Tavis brother, the McCaff brothers. You mix it in some of the cornerbacks behind the cornerbacks, safeties. You got them all playing different positions in that defensive backfield. I think it's because we need that, because if we're going to make a run to the championship, we're going to need all that depth.
Doc.
Okay.
I mentioned it, I believe, on Mays' show. I'm going to use the NBA as an example. You have a rookie or a second-year player in the NBA, and his team makes it to the playoffs, the NBA finals, and the kid plays unconscious because there's no pressure. He knows he has a career ahead of him, and it doesn't matter to him if he wins a title now or not, a championship or not. That very well might be the vibe for a lot of these younger, extremely talented players at the University of Michigan. And if you're not, up here and you're just, in the game and you're that talented, it could be very dangerous.
Okay. Steve, you want to?
Y'all know what I mean. All good points. And Dom, I didn't think about that as far as Chase Herbstreit. I asked myself initially, why did he commit to Michigan? Because I think the Buckeyes offered him late. I know he's not going to be a starter. He'll probably never see the field as a Wolverine quarterback, not even in garbage time. But now you got me thinking that I'm not gonna say I believe in conspiracy theories, but man, why did he come to Michigan? Like, is he just rebelling against his dad, or does he really just want a Michigan education? This is anything, but now I'm looking at him sideways, like, yeah, but I want to talk about 2 things I've been seeing lately. For some reason, it's been in the algorithm. My algorithm, not sure why. One is how the Buckeyes fan base, for whatever reason, they're going around on every platform, and anytime somebody says something negative about them, in droves, it's like, well, you're a hater. The Buckeyes recruit this way, so they're not going to fall off. Let me tell you something. Georgia is a really good recruiting program. They're not the same as they were from 4 years ago. They're good, but not even Georgia. Everybody rebuilds. Everybody. For Buckeyes fans to think that they are the one program that's the anomaly shows you how they are as a fan base. Nobody loses 15 starters. And let me make sure I say this right. Nobody loses 15 starters and replaces them with a lot of guys who didn't get a lot of snaps the year before and stays that good. Georgia replaced 15 starters in 2022, but notice what I said. The guys who replaced them got a lot of snaps the year before. So when they came in, it was like, okay, we just picking up where we left off. The Buckeyes didn't blow a lot of teams out last year, so a lot of times they were playing guys in the third and fourth quarter. So guess what? You can talk about the playoffs and their offensive linemen. That's cute, but all season there were some guys you're like, okay, who is this? So to think that they're not going to have any drop off, and this is their deepest team in a decade, and they're not going to have any drop off, that's ASA 9, ASA 10, ASA 11, and ASA 12 in the words of Stephen A. Smith. Secondly, when I look at Michigan and Oklahoma, like I'm genuinely trying to find a reason to think that Oklahoma's going to give them a challenge. I don't care about them playing in Oklahoma at night, beat them in the dark. But when you look at Michigan, most of their talent they recruited, most of it. Oklahoma has about 8, 9 projected starters that are transfers from somebody else. They're playing to save their coach's job. Michigan, they have no pressure because people expect them to lose. When you got a freshman quarterback, we got John Mateer, so what? And other fan bases, it's interesting to see, like Bryce Underwood and Arch Manning are the 2 most criticized quarterbacks in college football, but they're going to beat the SEC. They're going to beat their opponent. I believe Arch is going to lead Texas to a win over the Bucks, over Ohio. That's what they spell on the field, so I'm going to call them Ohio. And I think Bryce Underwood is going to go out there, play behind that good offensive line that Michigan recruited, all 5 starters, hand the ball off to those Michigan running backs, 1 transferred in, and throw the ball when he needs to the Michigan tight ends that they recruited and the Michigan wide receivers, with the exception of 1, and go out there and get a victory. Do I think they're going to beat them by 30? No. But I'm also not afraid of the nostalgia of Oklahoma because that's what people seem to be afraid of. Well, it's Oklahoma. The name means nothing. What product are they putting on the field? Kyler Murray's not back there. Baker Mayfield's not back there. Sam Bradford's not back there. Jason White is not back there. Adrian Peterson is not back there. Brent Venables is a decent head coach. But to look at what Michigan did last year with a better team this year, and to look at that coaching staff and say, you know what? I'm taking Oklahoma because they're at home. Tells me that they don't really believe in Oklahoma. And the only reason people don't believe in Michigan is because of a freshman quarterback. They don't need him to be Johnny Manziel. They got good running backs, a good offensive line. He's going to make timely throws and he can use his legs. So all you people listening, saying that, well, Oklahoma's going, and any game, Michigan's going to lose 4 or 5 games, that's a lie. They should have lost that last year. They're better this year. So if and when Michigan starts 4-5-0, I got receipts. Don't run. Come stand in the paint. I got receipts. And if the Buckeyes finish 3-4 losses, once again, come stand in the paint because I have receipts. And I'm going to go on mute.
Hey, Doc, may I ask a question, please?
Sure.
This whole gambling controversy down in Oklahoma with Mateer, am I saying that correctly?
Mm-hmm.
I did hear something.
What's that?
And you'll remember this because you're sporting the Grays as well. But I heard there's talk of him transferring to The Ohio State University to be a modern-day Art Schlichter.
Okay, that might be before my time, Dom.
There, I cleared the cobwebs out for that one. Yeah, the gambling scandal that was Art Schlichter that ruined his career and embarrassed the town. So, yeah.
Okay, Dom, you had some choice words for Feldman.
Yeah, I don't. Do you ever watch Feldman or read any of his publications and sit back and like, wow, that's an interesting point?
Well, you know what? Rich Eisen had him on quite a few times while the whole thing was during the our national championship run. And I remember listening to him and I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm not really learning much by listening to this guy. I mean, what does he know? Does he know anything? He just kind of gets up there and he kind of is in his little monotone voice. And So
it's I look at the top 25 and to have Michigan at 14 with those last 2 wins. I mean, we beat the defending national title champions and we were 23-point underdogs. And then we beat an Alabama team who played all of their starters. We were absent starters playing backups. and we dominated Alabama. Those 2 games to close out the year, to have us behind Illinois, Arizona State, Miami, it's insulting. Now, I don't know much about South Carolina, but I heard a lot of talk that they have a talented team this year. So I don't know, but for Michigan to be on 14, to me, it's an irritant. But on the other side of the coin, I love it because when we started this low in the past, there's no pressure. We have no pressure. All the pressure's on The Ohio State University come November 29th.
Okay. Yeah, I don't mind sneaking up on people. I'd rather start here at this point than be in the top 4 and, potentially have a hiccup. But Marmar, you had your hand up? Marmar? You had your hand up?
Oh, okay. South Carolina only returns 48%, or 58% of their production. They're 58 in the nation return of production. Steven told me earlier that Ohio State is 104 in return of production. Dom hit the nail on the head. Steve hit the nail on the head about Ohio State. It's going to be bad on August 30th at noon because Texas coming to play. So basically what I told Steven earlier today is that the same way Ohio State obliterated Oregon in the second game because they knew they did things that they didn't do in the first game. Oregon wasn't ready for that. Again, Sarkisian knows what he has to do this year coming into this game, knowing that they lost a lot of production that beat them. It still was a game last year. It's just Quinn Ewers fumbled the ball. That's it. That was the only thing that changed that game. Because if they scored, they would have had the lead. So, again, on August 30th at 12, it could get real ugly. Archer's a dog. He threw, even though being a backup, he still threw for like 600, 700 yards, 8 touchdowns, and like 200 yards rushing in that last year. So he's battle tested. And Ohio State don't know who their quarterback is. I don't care what the media talking about.
What's going to be the excuse though if they lose? Is it too early? Did they not have a quick enough turnaround because it's before 2:30, or is it because they were so disrespected in the polls that the mentality just wasn't there for the game? What's going to be the excuse? Go ahead, though.
All three.
I have the excuse. Ryan Day steps up to the podium, and we came off a phenomenal year last year. We lost a lot of talent. We have new coordinators. It's a lot of pieces to assemble, and obviously we have work to do. And also, none of this is my fault. Yeah.
The interesting thing about the Buckeyes is that I don't think I've ever seen them. The last time they claimed a fair loss was Oregon 2021. Every loss since then has been tainted, and some every one of them. What was it? Georgia was a hit on Marvin, late hit. 2022, of course, in Michigan. 23. I've never seen such a fan base, and I mean ever. Not even Yankees fans, Duke fans, Lakers fans. I've never seen such an entitled fan base to the point where anytime they lose, it's somebody else's fault. And they claim to be Alabama. I live in Alabama. They're not Alabama. It's not the same. It's not the same. They recruit well, but I live here. I see it. They claim to be Georgia. They claim to be whomever. They really, if you want to compare, they're barely Clemson from the Deshaun Watson year. They're barely them. But every time they lose, it's not a reason. It's an excuse, and they turn on each other so fast, like you wouldn't believe. Ryan Day, I guarantee Ryan Day, whenever he leaves that job, he'll be relieved. He won't say it, but what he actually did last year was add more pressure to himself because you won the championship. Now you lose 2 or 3 games, it's right back to having your kids being escorted to school by law enforcement, getting the for sale signs out your yard, your wife not being able to go to work, because she's being harassed, stuff like that. It's going to go right back to that. This is who they are. Now, it's not all of them, but I can confidently say it's a majority of that fan base. Because if you had to root for the Bengals or Browns for all those years and your only option is the Buckeyes, then I'd be pissed too. You get what I'm saying? But this fan base, to me, and I know some of them listen, when I go on YouTube, I'm not making this up. They go after anybody who says something about them. Heather Dinich, Sam Acho, Paul Feinbaum. It's like they're just all over the place. This happened the last time they won the championship. And so they got humbled that next year by Michigan State. It's like, congratulations, you won the championship. But even with that championship, your best team couldn't beat Michigan's worst team in almost 15 years, like the worst team. Davis Warren's last pass in that game was for 18 yards. He threw it with like what 9 minutes left, 10 minutes left, and you couldn't even beat that team. With Khalil Mullins, Donovan Edwards, who didn't do anything, Evan Link, who can't block a phone call, you couldn't do anything with those guys. But now you're going to come and beat Michigan, this Michigan team? You're going to beat with no Chip Kelly, no Jim. Listen, man, I'm going to laugh. Look, let me calm down. I got receipts. You better beat Michigan this year. Because if you lose to a freshman who you said wasn't that good, or you said Tavia St. Clair was better than, man, I'm God willing, if I live to see it. No, you don't want to. I'm coming on every Ohio channel, and you're going to have to block me because I'm getting you. Like, that fan base is pathetic, man. A good 92% of them. I'll give 8% the benefit of the doubt. The 92%, trash, man. I'm sorry. I'm going on mute.
Steven's got an excellent point, Doc, and it's the age of these Ohio State fans that are coming onto YouTube and the other social media and just trolling, because the bulk of them are under 30 years old that are this, excuse-laden, crybaby, classless fan base that comes in and starts trouble. They only know the Tressel years and the Urban Meyer years. They weren't around during the Cooper years. And what they fail to understand is that Tressel and Urban Meyer understood the game because they were from Ohio, and they understood the physical nature of that game and what it's really about. And Ryan Day just doesn't get it. He still doesn't get it. And it's not computing for these younger Buckeye fans. They're not used to losing. They're not used to adversity. And 3 or 4 losses this year, it doesn't matter. Records this year on November 29th, they will be smothered in Ann Arbor. They were held to 10 points last year with one of the best offensive teams that they've had in their history, to 10 points at home. They are going to get smothered in Ann Arbor. They may not score a touchdown.
Okay. All right. Yeah. It's surprising Ryan wouldn't at this point understand the rivalry and have his teams more ready to play that game. But yeah. I remember you mentioning that to the gentleman on Johnny's panel on the younger guy. I forget his name. You asked him how old he was, and
Jason, the blueprint man.
Jason, yep, he's a young guy. Okay. Does anybody have anything else? I'm gonna go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Doc, thank you for having me. I'm gonna step down, but it's really refreshing to have a conversation amongst us without any Buckeye nonsense, and it's nice. No Buckeye stuff. It's all Michigan. I love it.
Absolutely. That's how it should be. Absolutely.
Okay.
You guys take care. Take care. Thank you so much, Doc.
All right, guys. You don't enjoy Garrison. I know Maniac does. I'm gonna
Maniac does not enjoy Garrison at
He's
all.
being sarcastic. I
I
don't.
know.
I mean,
I
Garrison.
know.
He doesn't answer questions. You ask him a yes or no question, he'll be like, how about like he brought up somebody asked him a question Sunday about what he thought about the Buckeye defense, and he talking about Jake Butt. Nobody asked you about Jake Butt, man. They asked you about you. So, and the guy just doesn't answer questions, like, but he wants you to answer his questions, and then he just brings up numbers to support his narrative. And when you get him, he just I just says some of the weirdest stuff. I don't. The guys are anyway. I ain't gonna talk about him when he's not here, but because I ain't Burks. I ain't Burks.
oh, Burks.
I could yeah.
I got my first exposure to Burks a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, we could do without. I could do without Garrison or any of those other fans, even the one in the chat right
Hey,
now.
Steve,
Yeah,
I told him to get up out of the doctor's show. I said, don't come over here with that, man. You got to go. And he left.
Okay.
yeah. They just yeah.
Let me read this real quickly. This is from Christopher Breiler. This is with that Sherelle Moore video, but I'm not going to show because I don't want my video demonetized. It says Michigan offensive line is starting to take shape. Greg Crippen and Gio El-Hadi have cemented themselves as starters. Evan Link is battling with Andrew Babalola at left tackle. It sounds like Link is leading, but Babalola is fully capable of being the starter there. Blake Frazier is also in the mix. He's also working at right tackle. At the right guard, Nate Afobe, Lawrence Hatter, Jake Guarnera, and Brady Norton. This seems like the most wide open battle right now. At right tackle, Moore mentions Andrew Sprague as a guy who's played well. Sounds like he's leading for that starting role with Blake Frazier pushing there as well. I just want to capture that.
Sprague is a monster. Sprague is the next great Michigan tackle. I think he has Jake Long's potential. Um, Evan Link, I'm surprised, but I will say this: he's being pushed by a 5-star, and if he's beating the 5-star, that tells me he wants it because last year was just bad. And Marmar had to get me off the ledge when it came to Link because I'm like, this guy, I'm 231, he can't block me. But if he's taking it personally like he should, and he's still beating out a 5-star, even though he's only like 20, Link, I think he's like 20, then that tells me a lot. I don't know what I think Ty Haywood got in late, so we're not gonna hear much about him probably till next season. But Michigan is becoming what they were in the 80s and 90s. That's O-line youth. They're getting back to that. As long as they can stay consistent and develop. Thankfully, they have an offensive lineman who's the head coach. They got Grant Newsom who should get better. I like what I'm hearing. El-Hadi, I think he's got All-American potential. If not first or second team, but definitely third team, but we'll see. Crippen, I'm glad he waited. He was patient. He didn't give up. He stayed the course, and he's the starter on going on year 2. So that definitely helps. Anchors the O-line, and I'm just excited to see who the starting 5 will be. If I had to choose the right tackle and left tackle, it would be Babalola and Sprague, but I'm not choosing. But I just want the best 5. The best 5 of whoever's going to protect Bryce. And they need to protect not just Bryce, but the running backs too. Just protect them and protect each other. So I trust the coaching staff. I think Link had a trial by fire last year, and I think iron sharpens iron. So whatever 5 they throw out there, I'm gonna go with that and hope that they do their job all year. But I also agree with Marmar too. If we can throw 9, 10 deep, that's excellent. That's what I want because that's how they were in 2022, in 2023, and even 2021 when they were winning the Joe Moore Awards. They were very deep. They could throw 7 or 8 guys at you and not miss a beat. So I'm gonna go on mute.
Okay, Abdul Games, you're very active in the chat. I'm going to give you another. Let's bring that Ryan Day drop back. Hold on.
And so in the off season, we've tried to really make sure that the guys are reminded of that game, that the coaches are reminded of that game, everybody in the building's reminded of that game, but also know that we have to move forward. We can't let that game beat us twice, but it's something we never want to have to go through again.
That was in 2022.
Doc, you like doing that.
Hey man, it's a sports show.
Doc don't even be smiling. Doc be keeping a straight face and just be playing it. Like, hey, dude, you a savage, Doc. It's all good.
Hold
But
on,
yeah,
hold
man,
on, hold on. I like this one too. Abdul, this one's for you.
You tell them they better bring their lunch because it's going to be a full damn day's work.
Hell yeah. I love that. Hey, hope you heard that, AJ.
yeah, they went. I appreciate that, Dom. Yeah, they went after. Oh, it's a tough team. Tell Lou Holtz it's a tough team. And you talking about Coach Moore crying, man? It's a tough team.
Steve, you shouldn't have said it. Hold on.
This is a tough team right here. We're proud to be from Ohio, and it's always been Ohio against the world, and it'll continue to be Ohio against the world. But I'll tell you what, I love those kids, and we got a tough team.
He thought like he was gonna start crying. Man, you beat him because he thought he was gonna start crying, man.
They didn't know how to count, put all the players on the field.
Yeah, man. It's
just because Lou Holtz said this. Hold on.
He has lost to Alabama, Georgia, Clemson, Michigan twice, and everybody that beats him does so because they're more physical than Ohio State. And I think Notre Dame will take that same approach.
Yeah, I mean, they were.
That's my favorite one. Because the crowd is like,
boy, I know Steve Stone Cold. They were talking, but they talked all the way until the end of the season, and even after Michigan beat them with Georgia, they were just we are tough, but they're the kings of almost winning everything. If they had banners for almost winning, they wouldn't have any room left to hang championship banners. If we hung for almost wins, but Ohio fans, if you're listening, you better hope Mike Hartline can call some plays. You better hope because he's going to be gone in a year or two. So you better hope. And I think when he leaves, they're going to become a running team again. Has anybody ever asked himself? Because I looked at this too, and I can speak freely here because we're mostly Michigan fans. Why they call themselves wide receiver U when they really didn't start getting a whole lot of good receivers until Ryan Day got there? Like their style used to be running and defense, right? When they won the championship, Ezekiel Elliott, all them boys and the Bosa's. But when Dwayne Haskins got there, Dwayne Haskins was their first ever quarterback to lead the nation in passing. And then they started getting like before then they had guys like Devin Smith, DeVere Posey, Michael Thomas. They did okay, but like they didn't really start taking a passing approach until Ryan Day got there in Hardline. Now all of a sudden they're wide receiver U, but you look at LSU, they had Zach Mettenberger, Jared Lee, they had Beckham Jr., Jones, they had Smith, they had guys getting 1,000 yards way before Ohio. So it's always interesting. First they were DBU, now they're wide receiver U. You didn't start getting them great wide receivers until 2019, 2020. So how are you wide receiver U? When it's probably going to be, you can really give it to LSU or Alabama if you wanted to. But that's just another topic for another day. I just think it's interesting.
Yeah.
But enjoy Heartline while you got it.
Could you, before Steve leave, could you pull up dude's comment about let me look at it real quick.
Was it that
Are the Wolverines reigning and defending? Yeah, that one right there. So let me break this down. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, they were the Big Ten champions 3 times in a row. That's right. That's reigning and defending, right? They won it 3 years in a row. So yes, they were. You said anything, right? So yes, and division champions. Next.
And he said other than the 5 loss season. Well, guess what, dude? One of them 5 losses wasn't you.
Yep.
It wasn't the Buckeyes that gave us the 5 losses, nor Alabama.
And it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be, right? It was going into the game. Jack Sawyer was doing a lot of talking before the game. That they were chirping at the Michigan players. Oh, yes, on now. And so what happened? What happened to good old 5-star Jack Sawyer?
And so before the game, the night before, Garrison said it was going to rain hell and brimstone on us. It was going to be 55-10.
Oh, Garrison said
Somebody
that?
did score 10. Yeah, Garrison said that. And we didn't see him for 2 weeks until they beat Tennessee.
And exactly, he was spending time with his family on the holidays, even though Thanksgiving was
Hey,
over.
yeah, it was 2 weeks later into the thing, and he was spending time. Stop it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said it was going to rain brimstone and all that. It was going 52-10. Somebody scored 10, but it wasn't Michigan.
Oh no, Marmar. Remember, Will Johnson was faking an injury because he didn't want to go up against Jeremiah Smith, and Colston
He didn't
Loveland
need
already
him.
checked out. Remember that? Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Remember all them
Yep.
fans saying that? It was like, man,
Well,
they don't need
Klein,
Will Johnson.
the plays that stand out to me, Klein, that side throw to get the first down from Warren. See, nobody talk about how Warren, yeah, he threw the 2 picks, but other than the 2 picks, he had a stellar game. Even though he threw for 62 yards, he made the right throw. That run on first down to get another first down by Warren, and you see him get up and throw his hands out, that's JJ.
Yeah,
JJ did that. JJ
yeah.
did that to beat the Buckeyes. So, like I said to you earlier, Anwar, they need to put a
You in the
big
portal,
ass
Marmar.
poster.
There you go.
They need to put a big ass poster of Davis Warren with his stats in Columbus. So every time somebody's driving down the street, they see it.
Hey, I-62. That way, I-62. You
Yeah,
got just
yeah.
make up a
Every
highway.
time they see
I-62.
Davis Warren, yeah, there'll be a lot of car accidents right there. A lot of people getting out of the car, arguing with each other. Yeah, man. Yeah. Since they want to
Yeah,
ban flags in there,
yeah. Hey Doc, I'm gonna jog down. I appreciate you having me, brother. Hey, y'all hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We're gonna get this
yeah,
thing big
Doc,
like every other Michigan channel, no doubt. We're gonna get this thing huge like we're supposed to be. Massive,
yeah,
massive. That's what we got. So y'all hit the subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a stranger to tell
yeah,
a friend. But
yeah.
go and
We
subscribe to my
we
man
gonna get.
Doc.
Okay.
While you still up here, Steve, tell them about your show to Anwar so he can check it out.
Yeah.
No, you can
Who's
have that.
Anwar?
That's me.
The doctor right here.
First thing.
Oh, I don't. What show you
Is-
talking about? I don't have a show.
You got
Are
something
we,
on
are
YouTube,
we,
don't you?
are we promoting Tim's show?
No, we
Oh
promote
no.
Tim's too. But
Okay, now I have
Steve
a
has
channel.
something he's doing.
Yeah, I'm a trainer. I'm a personal trainer. So I have at SDB 1218 at SDB like Sam Domino Bravo 1218. I post stuff with my clients, and I do stuff to exercise and show people how to eat right, how to train, like how to do exercises properly, how to breathe properly. So if y'all want to follow, it's cool. If you don't, that's fine too. If you want to just watch the videos, I make them free to the public. But yeah, it's all good at SDB 1218 if you want to follow us. It's all good. If you
Right.
don't, I appreciate it. If you do, I appreciate it.
Are you here on YouTube or Instagram?
Oh, I'm only on YouTube.
Okay. If you have a wrench,
Yeah.
yeah, you should have a wrench. You can drop your link there in the chat.
All right. Okay, hold on. Let me see if hold on. I appreciate you, Doc. No
And
doubt.
pull up
No
Thunder
problem. No problem.
Redman show too.
Yeah, we could
We
all use
get
that.
Thunder Redman out here.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Get a little
All right. I
Thunder.
don't have a wrench.
You know he in
It's
the
all good. I'm,
hey Anwar, you know he in little Redman Timothy, he's in Detroit doing this.
Is he?
So I'm very proud of that. He's not
Okay.
running around in the city of Detroit in mischief. He's making content for Michigan football, and he's only 18. So we have to recognize that, especially in being in the city of Detroit.
Steve, I'm gonna give you a wrench. Do that one more time so it's a live. Hold on, it's a live link. Hold on. All right, yeah, I just modded you. Okay. Yeah. Oh, so he's a young guy.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we gotta help him. He's starting young. That's a good thing. He's starting young.
yeah, he's staying out of the way.
Yeah, I'm trying. I appreciate you. I'm gonna drop down and watch and replay this Michigan Ohio game from last year. Y'all stay up, be safe, and go blue, baby.
Facts.
Okay. Yeah, that game, man. And we can end on this, Marmar. Yeah, when I was at Buffalo Wild Wings in Tonawanda, New York, watching that game, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I couldn't believe Michigan was still in the game. I couldn't believe. It's fun, and it's funny when Zavada just kind of trotted out. Zavada just walked out to kick that last kick. I know that was killing the Buckeye fans, man. And that was where I watched it. That was the official game watch location, Buckeye game watch for Western New York. So I know they were hurting everywhere when Zavada trotted out because he was automatic, and it just that Khalil Mullins first down, that field goal.
All the players that weren't supposed to put them on the back. See, we lost Donovan Evers in the game. We didn't have Coastal Loveland. We didn't have Will Johnson. And we still beat them. They have nothing to say to us. See, now the word that came out is that Michigan are only getting fined and Shamar Moore only getting 2 game suspension. That's it. And showcase for Harbaugh that already got one, he don't care. And then one for Connor Stallion. That's it. That's it.
Okay, because I was watching Minister Sports around lunchtime, and they were talking about it. So
yeah, so keep your receipt when the hammer don't come down, because just remember, the whole conversation has been the last 3 years is the hammer.
Yeah, they're going to be hurting if that doesn't happen because they've been all banking on that.
So like I said, the word that's coming out, Thambo is supposed to either report it tomorrow or Friday, so we can move on. But if that's what's going to happen, a fine, 2 game suspension, and that's it.
Yeah, I don't normally talk about trash, but I'm gonna have to troll if that happens. Yeah.
Hey, it's gonna be, you ain't gonna hear from them. You're not gonna hear from them. I appreciate you having me, Anwar. I appreciate it. I gotta get it to laying it down.
Same here.
Get into my scripture, and then we'll be doing it again. 2 weeks. I'll be in Ann Arbor, God willing.
Okay. Yeah, I got Johnny coming over on Tuesday, so I'm gonna do a Q&A with him.
What's that?
Johnny Olden. He's coming here on Tuesday. Me and him.
Y'all gonna be live?
Yeah, we'll probably open it up after we get done. You know.
Okay.
But I usually have Johnny come before the season starts, so he agreed to come back. So.
Okay. Yep. It's good.
All right. Next Tuesday.
I'll be there to support y'all.
All right. Thanks, Marmar.
All right. Love, brother.
Peace. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Marmar. Yeah, I mean, the channel. Yeah, grew. Marmar helped grow the channel. Dom, Maniac. I think Mays came over, so all you guys helped the channel grow. It was stuck at a certain number for a little while, but you guys helped grow the channel. So I really appreciate that. Looks like Marmar is gone. So with that, everybody, yeah, I'm gonna wrap up. Before we wrap up, let's get a word from Brady about being a fan. Not being a fan of Ohio.
But I was not a fan of that university in Ohio because my buddies were, so I had to be different.
Okay. He didn't have the best record at Michigan, but he had some really good drops and sound bites. Let's hear one more of those drops and sound bites.
We understand what Michigan football means and what Michigan football is. We will always be about the team at Michigan. This is never going to be about Brady Hoke.
Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. Please like, share, and subscribe. Shout out to Bo Lytle. Respect is earned. I told you guys I would tell the story of why I always shout out Bo Lytle when I was trying to grow the channel years ago, I kept saying, please like, share, and subscribe. And Bo Lytle, under one of my videos, said, I'll subscribe if I want to. Respect is earned. So don't browbeat me or don't browbeat anybody into subscribing to your channel. So ever since then, I always acknowledged Bo Lytle in that respect is earned. I haven't seen him recently, but that's why I say that. It's a joke. I'm a joker. It's sports content, so I like to entertain. If anyone wants a copy of my book, The Engineers, a Western New York Basketball Story, it's a sports-related story. The information is in the description box. I'm selling the hardcover for $25 and the paperback for $22 for my YouTube subs. Shipping and handling is built into that price. Just use one of those methods there on the ticker, but make sure you send me your mailing address as well. It's a true life story about what sports teach you about the real world. And Michigan football and basketball are mentioned in here because when I had the dream of playing basketball, that's when the Fab Five burst on the scene. And that year, I remember Desmond Howard won the Heisman. Yeah, that first year, the Fab Five made it to the Final Four and lost to Duke. Yeah, Desmond Howard won the Heisman. So we were paying attention to what was happening at Michigan over in Buffalo, New York. So with that, everybody, and you can get that on Amazon too. Of course, it's a little more expensive over there, but with that, everybody, yeah, look for me. Johnny Olden agreed to come next Tuesday, so look for us next Tuesday. If for some reason it doesn't happen, life happens. That's life. I'll make an announcement on my community tab, but I will also keep posting news over on my community tab. And I'm really, really curious to see this verdict on the hammer and hammer time. Because Buckeye fan, if that gets taken away, yeah, I don't talk a lot of trash, but I might have to troll a little bit as well. Because you guys, Buckeye fan, you guys came for us. And you guys really came from us trying to invalidate our 2023 national championship and give the program the death penalty, give Michigan the death penalty, vacate those wins. So if it's just a fine in these 2 games for Sherrone Moore, we're going to come for you guys. So beware. Anyway, everybody, this is Big Discussion 76 Sports. My name is Dr. Anwar Yusuf Dunbar. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Go blue. And as always, remember that your attitude determines your altitude. Always try to do your best. See, he just won't let me sign off. What are you saying now? Abdul Gain says, Mar, okay, it's Mar, not just Mar. He says, Mar, I didn't see the Wolverines on any podium. He says, Mar, I didn't see the Wolverines on any podium last season. I saw the Buckeyes on the podium. That matters most in this sport last season. I have the Natty Trophy with me right now. Just for that, you're going to get one more of these.
He has lost to Alabama, Georgia, Clemson, Michigan twice, and everybody that beats him does so because they're more physical than Ohio State. And I think Notre Dame will take that same approach.
So we're going to give Lou Holtz the last word. All right, everybody. Go blue. As always, remember that your attitude determines your altitude. Always try to do your best. It's great to be a Michigan Wolverine. Take care, and I will talk to you all the next time. You too, Abdul. Have a good night. Bye-bye. He said, last 2 times Lou's Notre Dame squad faced the Bucks, they got bucked up. All right, everybody. Have a good night. Bye-bye.